What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I am your host, Dara Sweat. Today, I want to talk about nutrition while traveling. Holidays are among us. I feel like we're all very aware of that. And some of y'all have trips on the calendar, I'm sure, which might add to that I'll start after the holidays mentality. But it doesn't have to be that way. This year, I lost 10 pounds. I got under 25% body fat, and I've been in 3 weddings to like 4 bachelorettes. I have another one on the calendar. I've had 3 work trips, one to LA, one to New York, and one to Nashville. Trips out of state with Doug, like I want to say 5 or 6 concerts. And that's not to brag about my upbeat lifestyle or anything. It's to emphasize that you can 110% travel and stay on track. It doesn't need to derail your journey or your progress. So in this episode, I'm going to share my personal experiences while traveling and the mindset that I kept, while also sharing some tips for you that have honestly really helped me in making those steps and keeping that mindset. I want you guys to know that you can travel and enjoy your trip and have a good time, but still keep that mindset of staying balanced, of choosing to prioritize vegetables and protein and still have a good time. I'm not telling you that you can't go on a trip and you have to not eat the donuts or anything like that. I'm telling that you can do this, but these are the mindsets that you need to have. So let's get into it. Welcome to Beyond Broken Hungry. Juggling your career, relationships, nutrition, fitness, finance, try to pursue your dreams, and stay sane can be a bit of a struggle. With the help of expertise from a variety of wellness experts and tips and tricks from everyday people, this podcast is here to share it all to make this journey we call life just a little more balanced. I'm stumbling towards wellness right alongside you, and I'm so happy to have you come along this journey. With that in mind, let's jump into this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I get asked all the time, what do I eat? Where do I eat? How much do I eat? And my answer is always this: whatever I want. Let me be sure to say that I do eat very balanced. I eat my protein, carbs, and vegetables, and I prioritize that. But I also eat donuts, and I eat chocolate, and all the yummy sometimes foods. I just want to give my body good nutrition more often than not. And that's the difference. I do track my macros, and I've shared before how my journey has kind of been like up and down with that. But once I simplified the process, something just clicked, and it makes so much sense to me now. That's a different episode. We're not getting into that today. To be totally honest with y'all, I cannot stand the phrase calories don't count on vacation. I can't stand it. And I used to say it. I used to be that person that would say it. But I also used to be 25 pounds overweight, swollen, inflamed, and had a bunch of medical issues. And now I don't. Correlation? Probably. I've traveled a lot. I travel all the time. And not just this year, but every year. I honestly feel like I've been a bridesmaid like 100 times. I just love to travel and explore in general. So I'm constantly booking the next flight. So to just go buck wild, eating and drinking whatever I want, how much I want, it's just not a reasonable way to live. I have to have balance. We have to have balance in our normal day to day. So when you are out of your normal, you can still kind of keep that structure, because that doesn't change anything. It's still Saturday. It doesn't matter where in the globe you are, or it's still Tuesday. It's still Wednesday. It's still the day. You just have to choose to be balanced. A big thing that I always think about is something that my nutrition coach tells me, and I've say this all the time, but her tagline is "Don't eat like an asshole," and I really take that to heart because it's so true. You know, I will go to the donut shop or the crepe store if that's what the bride wants to do while she's on her bachelorette, and I'm gonna enjoy it with her. I'm gonna eat it. But you know what? I don't have to eat like it's the last time I'm ever going to eat a donut again. Like, you don't have to like gorge yourself just because you're on this trip. It's like we have this mindset that, oh, I'm on vacation. That means that I instantly become an empty pit and I can just eat whatever and how much. And that's just not the case. It's not the case. It comes down to having a plan, really thinking about what you want, and not eating like it's the last time you'll ever eat pizza again, or cake again, or anything else again for that matter, or drinking like you're never gonna have a margarita, drinking like you're not gonna go out the following weekend and have a drink when you go to dinner when it's date night. Like, you don't have to drink like that. Alcohol's not going anywhere. Don't quote me on that. Maybe it will. But at this point in time, it's not going anywhere. Donuts, not going anywhere. So you'll always have an opportunity to eat them. So you don't have to act like it's the only moment you'll have is this moment right now. You can enjoy things without overdoing it. I'm going to share some more specific tips that really helped me keep it simple. The more you overthink it and the more you stress it, the harder it's going to be. And the more it's going to push you away from wanting to choose to live that lifestyle, because you are putting more pressure on yourself to do something and making it way harder than it needs to be. So you have to keep it simple and just have a plan. Have something simple. You don't want to go into this so hard and so overthinking it that you just end up being like, screw it, and then you throw the whole thing away, because then what good is that? But enough about me and my specific journey. So here are some tips to prioritize your health on the road or in the air or on a boat, however you're getting to your destination. Number one is hydrate. It's always going to be number one. This is so important. Get yourself a Stanley Cup. I have a discount code for y'all now. You just got to click that link in my bio. You'll get 10% off. 40 ounces, 30 ounces, 50 ounces, whatever size you want to get. Get that, fill it up, drink your water, make it cute. Number two, get enough sleep. I know, especially if we're going on bachelorettes or we're going on birthday trips and things like that, we're going to go out, we're going to go to the club, we're going to dance, we're going to drink, we're going to have a good time. But let's be realistic and not book the next thing the next morning at 8 o'clock. Let's let everybody sleep. Get your sleep in. I know for a fact for me, if I don't get enough sleep, I don't feel good and I get real grouchy. And it's not pleasant for other people to have me around. So get sleep. Number three, plan to exercise. Okay, if it's applicable. All right, let's be real. How many times do we pack a pair of shoes and some workout clothes because we promise we're gonna go to the hotel gym and get a workout in? Let's be realistic. Maybe that's not what's gonna happen. Maybe if you're on a work trip, yeah, prioritize that. I know when I'm on a work trip, I at least try to go. If it's a 3-day trip, I at least try to make it to the gym once, because it's hard when you travel, but getting that gunk out and moving your body is going to make the travel a little bit more sustainable in the long run. But I'm promising y'all, I did not go to the gym and any bachelorette that I was in. I did not wake up doing sunrise yoga before the other girls did. I didn't do that. I was getting my exercise in on the dance floor. And that's fair. That's a fair trade. But get some movement in if you can. A lot of the times when I've been on my bachelorette trips, we've been walking around and doing a bunch of stuff. When I went to the Keys for Doug's birthday, we rode bikes a lot. So I did get some movement in. Didn't necessarily the type of movement that I do on a regular basis. I wasn't going to a CrossFit gym, dropping in wherever I was, but I was still getting some movement. So if you can do that, try to do that. Number four, don't skip breakfast, period. That's all I'm going to say about that. Number five, pack protein-focused snacks while you're on your way in and you're on your way out. When you're driving or you're flying, you can take food on a plane. You just can't bring liquids, but you can bring an empty water bottle. Take some protein-focused foods. If you're not vegan, pack some beef jerky. If you don't like beef jerky, pack a protein bar. If you don't like a protein bar, then maybe pack some sandwich roll-ups or something like that. And a lot of times when you're going on trips with a group of friends, whether it's a bachelorette or a birthday trip or whatever, at the Airbnb or the hotel you're staying at, there's usually always that group chat of what does everybody want to keep at the place that we're staying for snacks. So suggest a couple of those snacks that might be a little more protein forward, or suggest fruits and vegetables as a snack, as well as the Cheez-Its, as well as the cookies, but have that option there too, so that you're at least getting some of the good nutrients in as well. If you are traveling on the road and you just stop at a random hole in the wall gas station or convenience store, your healthier options are going to be limited. So maybe look for the grocery stores and go into the grocery store, or go into, a Walgreens or CVS or something, and go to get those protein bars rather than just popping into the Quickie Mart, and really all they have are cereal bars that are processed as crap, or bags of chips, and they don't really have, and candy, and they don't have the option. Maybe take the extra step to go to the grocery store so that you can maybe grab, some fresh cheese or fresh fruit or some meat roll-ups or something like that. Number 6, look ahead at the menus. We know where we're going to go. We know where we're going to go. Just ask for the name and look at the menu. Plan ahead. Look at what you might eat. Okay? Think of protein and vegetables. Prioritize that. And if the table gets an appetizer, enjoy some of the appetizer. The table gets dessert, enjoy some of the dessert. But keep that protein and vegetables your main focus, and try to stay away from eating fried food at every single meal while you are traveling. I'm not saying don't eat fried food. I'm saying don't eat it for every single meal, because that is what will cause most of the inflammation and the weight gain post this trip you go on. So just try to minimize your fried food to as minimal as possible. Number 7, last one I'm going to say, practice some discipline. Ultimately, it comes down to willpower. I know there are a lot of tempting foods that you can eat when you're out of town, but just because it's there doesn't mean you have to eat them. Nobody's force feeding you. You don't have to eat them. You can enjoy without indulging. You can pick and choose some things. It comes down to discipline, willpower. How much do you want to achieve your goals? How badly do you want to be healthy? How badly do you want to have that mindset where it becomes instinct? It's not going to be instinct right away to do those things. It was not instinct for me to do these things right away. I had to practice it. I had to make it happen. I had to make those decisions. I had to choose those things every single time until it just became like, all right, this meal, I'm going to eat this. This next meal, I'm going to go ahead and have a little fun with that meal. That'll be my fun meal. But you know what, y'all? I don't care what anybody says. I like to order salads, but there are some salads that are fun. Okay? There are omelets that are fun. There are vegetable heavy dinners, bowls, whatever, that are fun. Just because you're trying to eat a certain way and reach certain goals doesn't mean it has to be boring. And while you're in this mindset of the holidays and you're going to these things, if you're the kind of person that you're like, you know what, I need to say no to something. I need to not have that piece of pie because I maybe only want to have one slice of pie, but there's 17 different desserts and you have to just choose one. You do not owe an explanation to anybody about the health decisions that you are making. When I was traveling a whole bunch and started this journey, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I got a little weird feelings sometimes because I would order vegetables, or I would not order the fried food, or I would get the grilled chicken, or take the bun off of my sandwich, as if I'm obligated to just eat shit all weekend long just because I'm on a trip. And it was a little uncomfortable for me at first when I started doing that, because I felt like, well, everybody's probably thinking that I'm weird because I'm doing that. Screw that. Get that out of your mind, because that person is not me and my journey is not theirs. And if they have a problem with me being healthy, then that's not somebody that I want in my life anyway. I don't care what they're eating. You eat whatever you want to eat. So then I should be able to eat whatever I want to eat. And for that meal, I'm choosing to eat a little bit healthier or a little more balanced, that doesn't mean I think I'm better than you. That just means that I have goals I want to hold on to. And it's not about them, it's about me. So I just want you to be thinking about that. There's going to be traveling coming up to the holidays. We got less than 50 days, like less than 50 days until the end of the year. That's about 200 meals if you eat like 3 to 5 times a day, like I do, because your girl loves to eat. The holidays, let's give it 11. There's 11 meals. Out of 200, 11 of those meals, give or take, are the holidays. So think about that. That's a lot of meals, a lot of opportunity for you to start working on your goals now instead of waiting until January 1st. So let's not have this I'll start when the holidays are over mentality, or I'll get back on track when I'm back from my trip mentality. Let's not do that. Let's just stay balanced. Let's just enjoy the food, but stay balanced with it. Prioritize your veggies, prioritize your protein, prioritize water, prioritize sleep, plan ahead. Don't make it complicated. Let's be fueling our bodies with good nutrients 80% of the time. Okay? You got this, friend. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. If you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Broken Hungry wherever you get your podcast so you can get notified every time a new episode drops. It would also mean the world to me if you rate, review, and share the podcast too, so more people can join the BBH tribe. Follow this podcast on social media at Beyond Broken Hungry to interact and see how I'm stumbling toward wellness one day at a time. And most importantly, tune back in next week for another episode. See you then.